Hi there. Today is a big day for real estate in New Jersey. Most of you may not be aware that Governor Murphy signed a new consumer protection law to protect real estate consumers, both buyers and sellers. And August 1st, 2024 is when it becomes effective. So I'm coming to you to share highlights of some of the changes that will impact consumers, buyers, and sellers so that you are aware. My name is Des Roro. I'm a real estate broker instructor in the state of New Jersey, and I hope that you'll find this information helpful. So the first change that came into effect, and most of these from a practice perspective, a lot of us practitioners have already been doing on a high level. It's just now law, right? So for some of you, this may not be that much of a change, or you may have already thought that this was law. So that's the good thing. There are some other changes coming as well. So the first change is what we call, this is for my sellers, seller disclosure form. So when real estate is being sold, when we market homes on the MLS or multiple listing system that then dispatches to all the third-party websites, Realtor, Zillow, and all these things, it has limited fields, right? It talks about bedrooms and bathrooms and what year it's built and all that good stuff. It doesn't really talk too much into the condition of the home, how old the roof is, or how old the AC is. So that is a property disclosure form that we ask our sellers to complete, and most sellers do complete it. However, it was not mandatory, therefore not all did, particularly my investor clients, or just investor sellers in particular, those who may be selling a property that's an estate property, did not complete it before. Now everyone, including landlords, when they're renting it, have to complete that form so that the buyer or the renter has a better idea of the condition of the home and what they're going into. And that is great both for sellers and buyers, because for buyers, obviously, they get more information about the property before they commit to a contract. For sellers, it's also great because you're getting to share updates that you've done to the property that perhaps wouldn't be visible on the MLS, on the marketing document. So that's a win-win. Again, most of us have already been doing that. The next one is for our buyer clients. So this is what we call brokerage buyer agreement. So the same way we have agreements for listings, we have agreements for buyers. Again, most of us, including myself, have already been practicing this. I only work with exclusive clients who are committed to their goals and to me. And so now, as of August 1st, it is law. It is a requirement that you sign an agreement with a buyer's agent to work with them. And again, in many other states, this has already been the law. And so what this means for buyers is it's great because New Jersey Realtors actually drafted an agreement that explains what the duties of an agent is, also what the duties of the client is, right? So it's an opportunity to really make sure that the agent that you're working with has value to offer and can solve for your goals when your conversation with them. Even though it's law, even though it's not a requirement, it still gives you the power to make sure your interview the agent is a good fit for you. So don't be surprised if when you start working with agents, you are asked to sign an agreement. Again, most of us have already been practicing this. The third is so in the state of New Jersey, there are different types of agency relationships. So there's a seller's agent representing the seller. There is a buyer's agent representing the buyer. New Jersey is one of those states that allow dual agency, meaning one agent can represent both the seller and buyer if the opportunity rises. This may happen, say that, there's a listing, the seller's agent is representing the seller, but an unrepresented buyer comes to the open house, for example, and wants to put an offer. That would create essentially a dual agency relationship. So now there is another agency relationship called designated agency. So what this means is two agents from the same brokerage can represent each set of the clients, right? So even though the brokerage is the same, it's two different agents having full fiduciary responsibility and representation of a buyer and a seller. How is this different from dual agency? With dual agency, while we are allowed and required to share material information, we cannot share some sensitive information. For example, say that I'm listing a home and the reason why it's listed is maybe there's a divorce, right? And if someone comes to the open house and wants to put an offer, I am not able to share that motivation or that intention with that buyer. So that's really where the difference comes in. So the fact that this designated option is now included, could be good for buyers. The other one is, I just kind of alluded to it at the open house. So when you go to an open house, you're going to start to see signs that says that, hey, this agent or the agent representing the seller is representing the seller, right, in the seller's interest. So their role is to get the house sold, and that is who their fiduciary responsibility is. So any information that you share with them during the open house can be used in making decisions by the seller, or incorporated into the offer consideration, because the job of the selling agent or the seller's agent is to look out for the best interest of the seller. So this is common sense in most cases, right? People know that the seller's agent represents the seller, but again, this is called a consumer protection law, to make it super clear about who is having fiduciary responsibility for whom and what your rights are, which I think are all great changes. Again, many of these, some of you may already be familiar with, or as practitioners, a lot of us already do. But as of August 1st, 2024, these are the changes that are coming. There are a few other changes coming. The ones that I mentioned are those that impact consumers. There's some internal changes as well for practitioners. So yeah, I just want to hop on and let you know that, hey, this is what's happening in these real estate streets in New Jersey. If you have any questions about any of these changes, what it means for you as a consumer, as a buyer, seller, or just have real estate questions in general in and out of New Jersey, or even globally, I'm happy to be a resource. Feel free to comment or DM on this video. Until next time, peace.